Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. Hello nieces and nephews, look like we got ourselves a nice little bounce here. I mean, come on, think about it. We had like what? That was like a $10, $11 drop that we had in one day. You guys can see SPY doesn't do that often. But then we get a dead cat bounce. Or is it a dead cat bounce? How are we going to know it's a dead cat bounce, Uncle? Well, you guys can see that we lost multiple fib levels on Thursday. Then we recaptured a couple on Friday. So we know it's a dead cat bounce if the price action says so. And what does it look like? Break back down 518 and 516 because those were the levels that were recaptured. Those are false breakdown setups, guys. So if those levels break down, the false breakdown gets canceled and back to the downside we go. 514.5, 513.2, 512, 510.5, and 508. Those are all fib levels that I would be targeting if we drop back below 518 and 516. Get bearish if that happens, but if we're going to get bullish and these false breakdown setup shows follow through, one, it got to stay above 518 to keep the false breakdown intact. And two, it's going to need to clear 520.5. You guys can see the wick. We had some selling pressure there. We broke down that level on Thursday and Friday. We back tested that level and got selling pressure. So that is the big level. If you're a bull, that is the big level you want to see recapture 520.5. And that would trigger longs. Would likely pop up to 523.2, and if that clears, new all-time highs are in play. Okay, just that simple. Below 518 and 516, get bearish. Above 518, stay bullish, but 520.5 would be the good bullish follow-through we'd be looking for. Triple Q, it managed to recapture that 439 level and back tested the 443-ish level as resistant. We got selling pressure there. So to be bullish, it's got to stay above 439, clear 441 and 443. If that happens, I would look to long and target those upside targets, okay? If you drop back below 439, that's a false breakout setup. Targeting 437, 435.4, 434, and 432.4, all right? Below 439, look to short. Above 439, we could stay bullish. Here is NVDA, also got a false breakout, a false breakdown setup off that triangle pattern. We broke it down, we recaptured it. It's got to stay above 873 lowest to stay bullish. As long as above, could be bullish here. We could get a bounce up to 892, maybe back over 900. If we break back down 873, I have support also at 877 and then 873. If those two levels fail, bearish, putting 860 and playing below 860, we could drop back down to the 840s. Tesla, well, they rejected from that fib level, 1.236 fib level on Thursday. Showed some follow through on Friday, okay? We closed back below 166.5. Still overall bearish, but we got to watch out for this potential double bottom at 160.5. So if you are a bear, you want to see support fail, right? 164, 162, and 160.5. Below 160.5, 158 is in play. That's the next fib level, and double bottom is canceled. I would be bullish below 160.5. To get bearish, 166.5 must recapture, and 170 needs to clear to break out, finally break out this orange downtrend trend line. Okay, guys, above 170, I will be bullish at 177 in play, and to favor a bottom is in, 177 needs to clear. We could also get an inverse cup and handle, so watch out for the dead cat bounces. IWM getting some buying pressure actually around that 203 level for multiple days, 4 days in a row, 4 trading days in a row. So if it's gonna break down 203, then I will get more bearish and look to short, okay, with a target 198 or lower. Now, if 203 finally bounces, like a real bounce, not a dead cat bounce, but an actual bounce, then it needs to clear 206 and 207.5. If that happens, we're probably going to 212 plus. All right. Apple consolidating, still trying to figure out what it wants to do. To me, it still looks overall bearish. It's got to break down 168.5 at this point to trigger more downside. Stay below 170. Break down 168.5. I would definitely look for puts. But if we break back above 170 and 172, I would definitely look for calls. All right. AMD also trying to consolidate and digest that big move to the downside. If it wants more downside, 167.2 and 165.5. Those are support levels. They must fail. They must fail to trigger a move back to the downside or lower to the downside. 161.8, 160 or lower. To be bullish, it's got to clear what is it? It's got to clear 170.6 and 173.5. If those levels can clear, I would look to long and favor a bounce back to the upside. Amazon still kind of it's still looking bullish, guys. It's running into that next resistant level around 186.8. That is a fib level. It's getting close to testing it. If it clears, the melt up continues. All right, we still have support at 180. Well, it closed at 185, but support below that is 183.5, 182 and 179. Those levels must clear. Below 179, I would be bear bias on Amazon. Netflix also trying to bounce some way, somehow. Still trying to bounce. 634.5 is support with next resistance at 638. If 638 clears, some more higher highs incoming. All right, for me to favor a pullback, as usual, it's got to break down support. It's got to break down support. So right now it's around 636. So first support will be 634.3-ish. Below that, 633, 631, 629, 627, and then all the way down to 624-ish. Okay, gotta break down those support levels. Below 624, I would be bear buys in favor of a deeper pullback for Netflix. Maybe all the way back down to 613 to the 614 zone. And here is Microsoft also bouncing, trying to bounce, recapturing that trend line and running into that orange trend line. If we clear 426.5, guys, bullish if we clear 426.5. Don't argue with the price action, okay? And if we break down 424, that will put 422 back in play. Below 422 is 420.8. You want to short if those levels fail. Play it level to level, guys. All right? Google, false breakdown setup off that 152.8 level as well. As long as above 152.8, 154, and 155.3 is in play. And above 155.3 could send us back to all-time highs at 157 or maybe even higher to the next fib level at 158.8, okay? Only can get bearish if we cancel this false breakdown setup, which means it needs to break back down. It needs to break back down 152.8 and 150.3. If that happens, 149, 147 or lower is in play. Maybe we'll finally fill the gap around 143.4-ish. Meta bouncing as well, cleared that 519 level. Next resistance is at 530 and 532. If those levels clear, don't argue with the price action. We are popping to new all-time highs. All right, guys, if we drop lower, they don't need to clear breakdown support, right? 525 and 523.5 are support with 519 below that. Those levels fail. Pullback time for Meta. Here is CGC. I got a support level at 9. Okay, at 9. As long as above 9, I would be bullish. Next resistance at 11. If 11 clears, 12.89 would be in play. And above that is 14 and 15.66. All right, for me to get bearish on CGC, it would have to break down 9. And if 9 breaks down, next supports are in place. 7.3, 6.5. Maybe we'll go back to test $5. Bitcoin looks like it's trying to bounce still, trying to put in a higher high over here. If it does, if it wants to put in a higher high, 70,000.5 must clear. And of course, the fib level at 71,000 must clear. Those levels clear, a bottom could be in. We could be heading back up to 73.8K, maybe even higher. To switch back to bearish, 68.8K and 67.3K must fail, and I would favor some downside. All right, guys, let's see the dark pool levels. So most of the activity, 67% of the activity on last Friday at least was 518.6, 1.9 billion in premium there. All right, so add that level to your chart. Not as much dark pool activity, but there was some right there. SPY filter for 100K premiums or above. And here we go. It is a bearish. Triple Q is bearish. IWM is bearish. Let's see the individual stocks. Nope, not for NVDA. It's bullish. Ah, it malfunctioned already. You gotta be kidding me. I'm so sorry, guys. Well, at least you guys got the dog pool levels. You guys want more option full stuff, definitely join my Discord and take advantage of the discount for the first month. All right, thank you guys. Peace.